Hello, hello, ladies. Welcome to today's Reiki share. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Leslie. Just bear with me 1 second while I share this on the Facebook. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Next is share. I know there's a couple more people that said that they would be joining in, so I'm going to give them a second while I share all this info. And then, and Alice Jean is here. Great, so glad you girls could make it today, because I know that I had to reschedule yesterday. Wasn't good for me. I wasn't 100% in the body. I felt kind of out of it, so I listened to my body and just gave myself a break to just recover and rest. But I sure missed you guys yesterday, so I'm glad that we could all make it in today. Let me just move the slide a little bit. So I hope everybody's enjoying from a good Monday. I'm going to go ahead and just mute the call for now while let me make sure that everything's up and running on the other end here. It seems so. Okay. That's strange. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, like I was saying, so today is going to be all about the law of attraction and the law of inspired action. Leslie, I'm not sure, have you been here for like the other laws that I've talked? I know you kind of came in and out. Okay, cool. So for the next few calls, I've been talking about the 12 universal laws. Are you familiar with that concept? No? Okay. So the 12 universal laws are some irrefutable spiritual laws, and they basically tell you how the world works. When you understand the laws, then you can begin to incorporate them into your life and begin to apply them to your personal experience. And then what that does is that it just kind of leaves you room to have more grace for yourself, to shift things, and to just grow an awareness. Like, okay, depending on what law it is, then you can, like I said, tune into it. So we've covered, I believe now, 4 laws. This is 5 and 6. And so the replays for all the other ones are available inside of my website. And I can definitely share the link with you if you feel so inspired to check the other ones out. It's really cool information. But so today we're talking about the law of attraction. And like I said, the law of inspired action. I decided to do these 2 laws together because I feel like they really go hand in hand. And with the first law that I want to talk about being the law of attraction. And so the main thing that this law states is like attracts like, right? So things of matching vibration will attract one another. And this is seen in everything, in the way that things are formed, particles combine and are matched together. And then later on, you'll actually see how the law of polarity, which is another one of the universal laws, takes things that are actually opposite and attracts them together. But for the sake of the law of attraction, what we really want to understand is that like attracts like. And so when we go deeper into this concept, the idea is that you understand that when you are in, depending on the state that you're holding in your body, so also depending on your vibration, which is another universal law, the law of vibration, depending on the vibration that you're holding, you're going to be attracting more of that in your awareness. And the same thing goes for whatever's happening in your internal reality, however you're viewing the world, that is the filter through which the external world is going to show up for you. And your mind is literally going to attract more of that experience. And so that's why doing subconscious work, clearing work, cleaning out that filter so that you begin to see the world from a more open perspective and in ways that favor you and the things that you want to create in your life. Doing that work is so powerful because on an energetic level, we're always attracting that which we are like. And so for me today, for example, this is how this law really shows up in my life. Even just today, I was working on some business stuff. I was trying to create some resources and get some good, juicy ideas flowing. And it happened to be that I was sitting down. I was like really determined on today's the day I'm going to pump out some of this content that I've been it's been percolating on the back burner. And there was a moment where I just felt like I really hit a wall. I was like, nothing's coming out. I'm not inspired. I'm questioning myself too much. I'm doubting whether or not, what I'm going to provide is going to be of value. And if it's good enough, am I actually good enough? And all these thoughts were percolating in my head. And literally just sitting a while, like sitting here and finding myself kind of like distracted and going off to do other things and really resisting myself, right? And I'm sitting there trying to figure it all out. My boyfriend comes in the room and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I just don't get it, because on other days I'm sitting here and it's just so flowy and I'm so inspired and it just pours out of me. And then today it's not happening and I just want to I don't get it, but I'm mad at myself because I was so determined today. I had all this free time and this is when it was gonna have to happen, And so here I am telling him all this stuff. And then I'm like, okay, he goes, go meditate, go take a few minutes, And I'm like, no, but I'm determined. I want to sit down. I want to get this done now. I don't want to take a break. Right. And then it hit me, the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction states that like attracts like. So in that state of me holding all of this frustrated energy about, what I was accomplishing, what was available to me at that moment, whether or not the inspiration was coming through, all that, those thoughts were putting me in a state of so much resistance. So I just kept attracting more resistance. The solution wasn't in the energy of the problem, right? And I was in the problem. I was in the middle of not feeling motivated about what I was doing. So just like he recommended, he's so wise, came in here, told me to go meditate. I was so resistant, but I was like, you know what? I need to shift my energy. I need to do something to get out of the state. So that's when you are living the law of attraction, that's what it comes down to, because none of the things that you actually want, right? The love of your life that, gives you all the support and all the love doesn't necessarily live within you if you feel like you're not worthy of that love, or like it's not possible, or he doesn't exist. And same thing goes for that money that you want your bank account to grow. And it's not going to happen if you feel like, I don't have enough money. If you go to the grocery store and you're not even willing to buy the good toilet paper because you're skipping out trying to save money for the cheap one, right? And you're holding all these little versions of resistance in your body, and shows up in many different ways. So the law of attraction invites us to take a look at all those little areas, and if we don't know how we're going to attract the thing that we want, then the exercise for this is to separate yourself from whatever the experience is. Like I did today. I went away, I meditated, I sat down, and I just started to breathe and connect to my body. And then I began to ask myself, okay, how do I want to feel? What feeling am I searching for? What is it that I'm desiring to create from being of service? From creating content that will help the women that I'm trying to guide, from, launching my business and having it be successful. What is the feeling that I'm trying to cultivate in my life? Because I may not know the exact steps that I need to take, but I know how I want to feel. And I know that creating in creating all those things, the end result is going to be me sharing something that I'm really excited about, right? Feeling very fulfilled and inspired, feeling happy because I'm living my life's purpose and feeling aligned. And I can literally close my eyes and tune into the version of myself that has that available. And because it's a state of being, we create states within our mind. And so that was basically what I did. I went away, I sat down, I disconnected. And rather than fixating on the how I was going to attract that thing that I wanted to attract, I fixated on the feeling. What would feel good to me right now? And I tell you, it worked really beautifully because within that feeling, it just kind of revealed itself to me. Okay, this is what would feel really good for me to teach. And I know that it's going to serve people because I've been from that place, even just now, like sitting here thinking, okay, what am I going to teach in the class for today? And then when all that happened, it's almost like the universe revealed to me the answer because I just went through it, right? Because I just experienced it firsthand, what it was like to be in the law of attraction. So then the next law, which ties hand in hand, is the law of inspired action. And so the law of inspired action calls upon us to take action towards the things that we want to manifest in the world. And it is through the action that we find even more inspiration. It's almost like finding the golden thread that you can pull at, and it'll just continue to unravel that thing that will really lead you to like the greatest, to your desire, to the manifestation of your desire. That's what the golden thread leads to once you find it, right? But what would it mean to you to find gold in your life? What would it mean to you to feel like you're really onto something, like that's something that you can cultivate from, right? And sometimes the way that I've realized that this law of inspired action manifests in my life is the exact same way. Once I leave enough room for the universe to show me the way, that is when I am able to actually receive the nudge, right? It's not in the, oh, but it has to be this way and it must take this form. And if it doesn't have all these components to it, it's not going to be perfect. And we tend to do that a lot, right? Because we're like logical human beings. We have this powerful brain that has a million ways of organizing things, and we like to plan and coordinate, and we have that ability. But oftentimes when we just try to do too much of that, when we put our hands in the pot too much, then we tend to suffocate it. And this really happens a lot when we are trying to step out of the comfort zone and do something that is new, something that is unknown or unfamiliar. We tend to just not really allow ourselves to think that there's a miracle on the other side, that there's a way for us to be able to achieve it. And instead we get caught up in, well, I don't have the resources right now, right? Like that's not possible for me right now. And I couldn't possibly make $5,000 this month or however much, that extra amount would be, because I technically right now don't have any anything, an offer put out, or I didn't get a raise at my job, so that's not possible for me, right? Again, through our own resistance, we create that limitation. But then what if you could allow yourself to be at ease? What if you could allow yourself to just feel more relaxed, more allowing of the possibilities and miracles that can unfold for you? What if you were to look at all those aspects of yourself that were no longer serving you, release them fully, and then from there say, okay, I'm willing to see things differently. And it is in that commitment, in that I'm committed to see things differently. I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to my ability and my capabilities, and I know that something will unfold for me. I am committed to the transformation that is to be experienced, right? When you open yourself to that and instead say, no, okay, maybe I don't see the how, but I will be shown the way. that is where you then leave room and expansion for the law of inspired action to come forth and to give you those inklings that will then be like, okay, well, this is the next logical thing that I could do, or the next step that feels good to me right now in this moment. And so every day, that's really a big part of my practice, and what's allowed me to like go from a place of, well, I really want that thing, but I'm super scared of doing that thing or pursuing it, right? And a lot of this came from my entrepreneurial journey. I really want to step into this, but I don't see how. And in that, all of a sudden, it's like all these beliefs, right? Oh my God. All this stuff is standing in the way. There's no way. You have problems with communication, problems with this, problems with that. And all of the beliefs were there. But then it was in the work, literally one by one, of releasing each one of them. And then coming into this place of, okay, if none of that is true, then what is? And ultimately, the truth is that we're supported. The truth is that we can have anything that we want to have, that we just got to get behind it, and we have to begin to declare that which is ours. Declare that which is yours. Then the inspired action comes through from that place of excitement, because it's not going to come in when you're feeling like shit about yourself. I'm so sorry. Like, it's just not, like I tried many, many times to be like, come on, just give it to me. It doesn't happen that way. So allowing yourself to get inspired. And then the little action step, it might seem like the silliest, most mundane thing. And sometimes, guys, it is the thing that it's not even, how can I tell you? Like, for the longest time in my business, the action step wasn't actually doing something in my business. For the longest time, it was literally doing something that could make me feel better than what I was feeling, right? That, and not in a self-sabotaging way, like I'm gonna go eat a bag of chips, but in a way that would actually move me forward. I'm gonna take a class that inspires me, that makes me feel good. I'm gonna go do this breath work. I'm gonna go stretch my body. I'm going to, and literally sit with myself. I'm gonna take out all this shit that I'm feeling. I'm gonna cry over it. I'm gonna move past it. And every day taking those steps, right? And then after all that clearness was created, that's where more inspired action towards, okay, what are the actual steps that I had to take to make my manifestations come into reality? Like the physical thing that I need for my business. And then those steps then look like, you'd be surprised, like miracles really happen. For me, it's been, like I said, getting really inspired about a messages that I want to share and putting all of my energy behind that and my heart fully behind that. And then showing up in that energy of declaration of, this is what's possible, what's been possible for me. This is the medicine that I have, right, to share. And then from there, it just magnetizes. I can't even explain to you, just people, you guys are all here. It's a miracle. Like, to me, it's a miracle. And it's so exciting, right? But that for me is it's been to be led from soul. It's so much less physical action. It's so much less actual, it's physical action, everything's physical action, but it's a lot less of, I need to do all these things. That's how we're kind of programmed, right? Like, we need to do all the things in the checklist and only then will we be successful. No, I haven't found that to be true at all. I've been finding it that the more I allow myself to be, then just the more I am and just am, and it unfolds itself. So that was a whole mouthful. Another 15 minutes of talking without stopping. Let me read the comment. Alishina said, this is amazing. I just had an experience like this past weekend. Yeah, so would you share on that, Alishina? I would love to hear what you experienced.
Sorry, I have a lot of children. So, yes, hello. It's funny that you were talking about the tap, like the feeling that it's actually feeling that you can go to and get, because we were literally, this is very random, but we were playing beer pong at a party for Halloween, and my husband and I were playing, and I don't play anymore, like it's not something I do very often, so we were playing and we were doing really good, and I kept telling him, I said, when he would miss a shot, I said, that feeling that you had, that space that you were at when you were making your shots, I said, tap into that. That's what I kept telling him. And then I was even saying to myself, this is real. Because then when you tell him that, or when I was thinking, oh, let me tap into that, and I tap into it, I started making my shots. And then my brother, he's actually disabled. And sorry, that's a baby. My brother, he's actually disabled, and he was trying to play with me, you know, trying to shoot. And once he made it, I told him, I said, because of course I was like having a good time. So I was like, okay, I was like, hey T, once you, whatever feeling you were feeling when you made that shot, I was like, tap into that, tap into that. And so it's literally like that feeling of, and so what I was practicing then now is gratitude, and that feeling of gratitude and how it makes me feel, and what it helps me, it gives me like a weird, well, it's not weird, but it's like it gives me this motivation of getting things done because I'm grateful. And I tap into my gratitude feeling, and it gives me this weird, like, I just kind of erases everything negative that I'm feeling because I'm tapped in, you know. And it's really about doing what you feel. And that's the same thing that Abraham Hicks said, like, if it feels good, do it. Do more and more of what feels good. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. You know, it's obviously not meant for your alignment or for your path. And so it was just, yeah. So I literally had that experience this weekend of like tapping in. And so now I've been really trying to tap into my gratitude feeling, but I'm just practicing, you know what I mean? Like, you can tap into any feeling that makes you feel good. What is it that makes you motivated, that gets you up off your little butt to get something done that needs to get done? What is it? And whatever that feeling is, whatever you want to call it, tap into it. Because when you tap into it, then it gets you into that. You can control your feelings with your mind, with, you know what I mean? It's because it's, you know, it's a state of being. So yeah, that was my experience. It's awesome. Yeah.
I love it. It's so true. It's so true. And I'll tell you another thing about gratitude. Gratitude, when do we say thank you? When we've received something, right? It's like, that's when we say thank you. Thank you, you got it, right? And so when you're in gratitude, literally as much as you want to tap into that is like the best thing you could do, because you are in the state of already having received the thing that you want. You know, yes. So Sarah said, beautiful, Astrina. It's so true, guys. It's so powerful and it's so true. Um, yeah. Anybody else want to share on that? And anybody else wants to like chime in on this conversation? Or anybody have a hard time, feel like they get kind of stuck or tripped up in themselves on, you know, not finding that sense of gratitude or inspired action?
I um and I was like having a lot of trouble trying to find the creative space and content creation with videos. I try to portray a lot of messages, and so I have been proclaiming to the universe, like, I'm ready to be authentic. I'm ready to be vulnerable, because I had a lot of issues around being vulnerable. Just a lot of shame in my childhood for crying.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning I woke up, and like, I've been prepping myself all weekend that when I woke up on Monday, I was going to film a video and talk about a really hard story so that I could help people going through something similar. And I said, it's going to be one take, and that's it. And I'm not going to sit here and go over lines. I'm not going to script it. And I did it in one take. And when I went back and I looked at it, you know, I added my little music. I was like, oh, this is, I mean, it's a big deal for me. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but like, I'm a perfectionist. So it was huge that I was just able to be vulnerable on camera and talk about something that I never in a million years that I would talk about to like the rest of the world.
That's
And
amazing.
it was manifestation.
Yes. And guys, for those of you that haven't practiced like getting on video, the one take thing is huge. For the longest time, guys, like I remember at the beginning, for me, it was like, no, and the perfectionist syndrome, like getting off and then getting back on and then getting off again and feeling like all tongue twisted. Oh my God, it's like the worst feeling. I remember one time I was going at it for like 2 hours just to do like a small like 3-minute introduction inside of like a Facebook group. This is at the very beginning. And I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm ever going to be a coach. Like that was a huge block, right? So I want to ask you, because I heard you say that you had it in your mind, like you set the intention. I think that that's really powerful. And definitely that's something that propels the action, right? That propels you like to move forward. Like I'm commanding, it's almost like you're commanding the body and the mind to just surrender fully. Was there anything else that helped you get into that state before you did the video? that you did that was like special?
Oh, so I gratitude journal every morning, and I've been envisioning what success to me as a coach looks like every morning and every night. And to me, it's giving back to my family, like buying them a little cabana tropical hut and like giving them the keys and the look on their face.
Oh,
And I meditated this morning, and it was about just being at peace. But what I started reframing the message as in my brain, talking about authentic messaging, was I'm going to heal people with my story. And in order to do that, I need to be authentic so that I can heal. So I just connected it to like an entirely greater purpose than being scared of being on video.
That's big. Yeah. So being of service, like that was a huge game changer for me too. When I started doing coaching, like that was one of my things my coach kept telling me at that time. She's like, you you can't keep getting tripped up every time you come on here to talk about what your plan is, your strategy, and all this and that. Like you really get tripped up on how you are going to be perceived by somebody else. And at the end of the day, that's just such a block. Like it's just not letting you show up. And so how will you be of service to others? That's huge too. So, and doing that daily, guys, even if we're not coaches, even if we're not doing this for a living, like no matter what you want to do, if you want to start a business making pastries for people and it's your passion. I know Pansy, you like to do art. It's really big to do art for people because you're really putting yourself out there and your talent and your gift, and for people to acknowledge that too. And just anything that you want to do, it's all valuable. Like everything that impacts any other person is valuable. And then next week we'll talk about, what we put out there, like the quality of what we put out into the world and how that actually creates a ripple that comes back to you as well. But just knowing that anything that you want to create that's an inspiration from your heart is of service, is of value to the whole. And it's kind of our duty to get past our own shit so that we can actually put it out there in a way that is going to be, genuine and impactful. And not to say that you're not going to record a video 10 times and that whatever comes out right then and there isn't going to be just as valuable to somebody. Because yes, of course, like there's editing, right? Like we movies are edited and they're not perfect, I'm sure, and they seem perfect when they come out, but nonetheless, it's also, I think, for you, Michaela, it's the experience, right? It's the experience that you lived while you were doing it. Did you enjoy it? Was it powerful for you? Did it move you? And all of that is also what creates more of that attraction, more and more and more of you just feeling like really high about your personal life, right? So Brittany, I'm glad you made it. So awesome. Cool. So anybody else want to chime in before we get into the meditation? The replay will be available in my group, Brittany, so you could definitely tune into that, but we're going to get into the Reiki in a bit. So you're still good on time and stuff. Let me check here. Awesome. So I have here on the Facebook a couple people that commented. Dina said, that is so amazing. I'm so happy for you. Christy, the law of inspired action. Yes, yes, yes. Good. And Christy's at this point too. Amazing. Let me see. There was a couple more comments. So good. I'm glad everybody is tuning in. Beautiful. It's kind of slow on the Facebook group. So anyways, we'll just kind of keep it going and I'll look at the comments at the end there. Like I said, anybody else want to chime in? Sorry, did someone take off their mic? Leslie.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a Facebook for everything else, or like for the other meetings that I missed, or I don't have a Facebook.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you're fine. So I do like post this, like this Zoom call is on the Facebook now, but I don't keep the replay on there. I have a link, and I'll actually just put it here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And the link is to my website, and then on there, that's where you can get the replays for all the other ones.
Okay, great, thank you.
Reiki, let me see. Reiki, I think it's Reiki Share Series. Is that it? Let me make sure. So what you're gonna want to do is, let me make sure this is it. we go. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is just go to this link that's here. And once you click on it, it'll ask you to put in your email address. But then as soon as you put in your email, it'll redirect you to the page where all the replays will be posted. What I suggest is that you save the link, not this one, but the link that it redirects you to.
Okay.
Because then that way you can access it every week. Because it's like a hidden link in my website. I don't necessarily have it open. It's just for anybody that wants to like exclusively get in on it. So, but yeah, all of the classes will be there. Yes, awesome. So anybody else want to chime in? Today's meditation is going to be about just getting you guys to kind of really get used to what those feelings are in your body, of expansion and contraction, right? How when you're feeling that density, and the more you can grow aware of the subtle body, of when that energy is there and when it needs to be shifted, that's like the more you can notice when you're in resistance, that's when you can actually like do something, right, to shift out of it. And then just realize, okay, law of attraction, I'm attracting everything in my reality. All my thoughts are becoming something in form. So, at that moment earlier for me, it was like all these crappy thoughts in my head, and it was turning into just a lot of frustration and a lot of this, right? So like, oh yeah, what do I do? So then that really should have been a sign for me to move away. And I've been doing this work for a while, so it takes some time for you to just keep practicing it over and over again. So having a lot of grace is key. But once you know this information, you never stop learning it, and you never unknow it, and it's great. It changes everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and close our eyes then. Let me, wait 1 second. Play some music and share the sounds. Okay. I'm just gonna ask everybody to take a deep breath with me. Inhaling, and exhaling. Once again, let's do a couple of breaths in count. So just follow along with the counting. We're going to be holding for a few seconds and then releasing, exhaling, and holding the exhale for a few moments. And this just allows us to tune into the body and relax. But before we begin counting the breath, I'm going to ask you to just take one big deep drag in through your nose. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders. Relaxing the muscles around your face. Feeling your forehead smooth over and all the tiny little muscles around your mouth relax. And relax your jaw. And taking a deep breath in, sending that oxygen into the belly. And exhale. We're going to inhale again for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale once again. 1, 2, 3. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale once again. 1, 2, 3. Hold at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale once again. Notice your body as you inhale and find yourself balancing the breath into its natural state. And in that process of inhaling and exhaling, you might have felt a little bit of resistance, a little bit of tension, a little bit of questioning whether or not you were doing it right. And just notice that energy. And now notice how relaxed it feels to just breathe back into balance in your natural state of breathing. And you don't have to control anything. Your body just knows. It knows what to do. And so tuning into that inner awareness, opening your heart to experience yourself. We're going to take this time now to call upon all beings of highest truth and love to be with us now, divine guidance to come forth. Calling forth our inner being, the part of ourselves that is really desiring to heal, to grow, to make an impact, to serve others, to serve ourselves, to love more deeply and greater than ever before. Calling upon that version of ourselves to just be in unison with us now, and thanking her for her presence, her continuous presence. Just feeling her radiance within us. And as we feel her, continue to ask yourself, ask her, what does she want to experience in her life? What feelings is she craving? What has she been hungry for lately? What does she want more of? Perhaps it's to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, accepted, to feel strength and empowered. And as she reveals herself to you and the things that she's been wanting, I want you to choose one of those things, one of those feelings. Choose one to focus on right now. And as you hold that feeling in you, visualize yourself fully in it, dressed in that energy from head to toe. Feel the vibrancy of that energy in your hair, on your skin, flowing through you in your blood. Feel it on your heart as it rings out of you and expands into your aura. And as we tune into her, and we are shown that step, that action, that inspired action that will give us more of that feeling. And it may not be something that's concrete. It may not be exactly a step, but it could be a feeling. It could be a thought. And just let that be whatever it is in this moment. reflect back to the beginning of the meditation. So when we were doing the breath, and there was a little bit of that resistance in your awareness. When you think about it, you may have even noticed that in your body, you feel the energy somewhere in your physical vessel. That resistance, the unknown, the fear, the doubt, whatever it is. And let's declare now in this moment that you will use that resistance to serve you. You will use it from here forward as an opportunity to grow. Because every time that you tune into it, every time that you notice it, you will know that it's an invitation to pivot and to call upon the goddess that lives within, to ask her to take over. And so notice how you can take a deep breath and feel her presence come forth even stronger within you. As this happens, you might feel called to raise your chest, to raise and broaden your shoulders, to lift your chin, to change your physiology, because she stands in great stature and she is potent in her presence. And she is ready to own her power. She's ready to take over for you. She's instinctive and intuitive, and she knows. So declaring her now, continue to bask in her presence and understand that this is just always going to be there, available to you, an opportunity for you to tune into her. And I'm going to call upon the Reiki energy to be here. Now I'm going to ask all my Reiki practitioners in this circle to call upon the Reiki life force energy. You can do this by initiating the symbols at this time, activating the Reiki within your hands. And for those of you that aren't attuned to Reiki, just allow yourself to continue to tune into that light energy, the light body. Notice the subtle shifts that occur as we cultivate the Reiki energy and send the healing now. And so calling upon the symbols, I'm going to just ask you all to first send Reiki to yourself, whatever area in your body that you feel needs the Reiki, whatever chakra needs balancing, that may be connected to that part of you that feels resistance against yourself. Go ahead and send the energy now. And for those of you that aren't practicing Reiki, just like I said, hold the energy. Also, feel free to scan the body and visualize a golden beam of light there. Healing, breaking through anything that is no longer serving you. And through each exhale, witness that energy leave the body. And through each inhale, feeling lighter than before. And just allow space for this to happen the next few moments. Reiki healers, feel free to call upon any one of the symbols at this time. The emotional symbol, the distance symbol, to connect to the part of you in the past, perhaps, that held onto those stories that were no longer serving you, held on to those stories that made you feel like there wasn't miracle available to you, that there wasn't power or love or support or resources. Send healing to the part of you that felt empty or abandoned. I'm going to ask now for all of the sisters in the circle to go into the middle, particularly the ones that have never, that are not attuned to Reiki. Feel free to go into the center of the circle. And for those of us Reiki healers, I want you to visualize yourself surrounding your sisters that are in the center of the circle. And I want you to also imagine your aura, your light body, your soul going into the circle as well. So like a shadow of you, of your presence, standing in the center with your sisters. And now, as Reiki healers, I want you to call upon the divine light and send the energy into the center of the circle, simultaneously sending the Reiki to yourself and to the sisters that are here to receive. As you feel all that wonderful energy coming at you in every direction, imagine your whole entire body being lifted up above the circle. And as you look out into the horizon, visualizing a beautiful road, a pathway paved in gold, surrounded by beautiful trees, by light. And in the distance, all you see is beauty in every direction. And this pathway goes on beyond what your eyes can see. And it leads into heaven, it leads into your destiny. And you may not know exactly where it's going, but you know that through cultivating your inspiration, it will lead you exactly where you need to be. So you take the first step in direction of your desire, of your destiny. And that step is full of joy and a deep sense of trust that grows from within you. And so you take the next step and just feel so light and so present with yourself, with that inner knowing that everything is unfolding for you. Beautiful. And so holding this vision now, come back into the circle, come back into the center. And feel the energy of all the divine beings and all your beautiful sisters all around you and how nurtured you are. I'm going to ask the Reiki healers to seal the intention of the practice now. Feel free to invoke any of the symbols to close out the session, particularly the distance healing symbol and the power symbol. And close your hands, come back into prayer pose. Bring your hands to your heart center. And just thanking the Creator for this awareness, for these moments that will forever be in our memory, for the growth that we've experienced in this short time that will ultimately lead us to just really amazing, greater pathways. Just come back in and seal that intention into your heart. Taking a deep breath in and anchoring into the moment, into the present, and feel free to close off the session and just hold gratitude. You can wiggle your hands, move your feet, and kind of just come back into the body. And slowly come back to the room. I see Jessica over there swaying. Sure. Let's see. How was that for y'all, ladies? I can't even man. Ask all to unmute. There we go. Okay.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Good. Yay.
I really want to write everything
I
down.
wanted to come back from walking that path, that golden path. I was like, no, I don't want to come back.
I don't want to come back. Can I just stay here, please? I know. For real. Oh man, did we lose Leslie? It looks like we lost Leslie.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's okay. The replay will be available to her. Anyways, awesome, girls. So that was really good. So awesome. So awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. So next week, we're going to talk about the law of perpetual transmutation and the law of cause and effect. I feel like it's nice, to be able to combine them and use them together and talk about them together and see how they all relate. So we're going to continue to do that. And then the other thing I wanted to announce. Sorry, did someone say something? Or was that the baby?
I heard. Oh, hello, little one.
She was so cute earlier. She was like, and then she was like, I thought she was adorable. Okay, what was I gonna say?
I have to mute.
Hi, baby.
I have to mute. Okay, not mute. Muted. Say peace. Okay, thank you.
I'm like, what was I gonna do? Oh, I remember now. Okay, give me 1 second. Because I had something that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, okay. So in next weekend, not next weekend, but the following one, on the 13th through 15th, I am going to do a master class, and I am going to do it on uncertainty to action. So how to move from a place of we kind of talked about it a little bit today, of getting really inspired, but this is going to be a little bit more focused on the subconscious stuff. I'm going to be talking about the laws of manifestation, three laws of manifestation, what those steps get to look like, and generally just going to be doing some work to get us from this place of uncertainty. And I really want to say this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to work on or work towards that thing that you have really been wanting to step into, that has perhaps been something that you've been aspiring to do, a change in some way. Michaela, for you, maybe more of that being vulnerable and showing up, in that presence and telling those types of stories and where you want to take that to the next level. So this masterclass is going to be gauged towards that type of work. Okay, so the details are kind of slowly revealing themselves to me, but I really felt called to do this because it's been so big to get me from a place of uncertainty to action, taking action, and what that action gets to look like from when it's coming from an aligned place. And so I put in a question inside of like the group, and you wouldn't get access to this, Michaela, because you're not in the Reiki practitioners group. But in that group, I basically asked, you guys would have seen it. I asked, like, what do you need? What do you want to learn? I kind of just want to see where you guys are being challenged right now so that I can kind of tie that into what I'm going to be teaching you and perhaps like in examples or whatever else. So I don't know if you guys have that in mind right now and you want to answer that, if you want to tell me, or if you want to just tell me later, you can write me a message. But anybody in particular? Sarah, I feel like you want to say something. No? Not yet? Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay, no problem. That's good. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And then this is leading up to the reopening of Intuitive Alchemy Academy, my 12-week program, super intensive program where we go deep, doing the shadow work, doing a lot of the energy shifting, the emotional stuff, shifting our identities, and really stepping into that alchemization of releasing the old and stepping into the new, kind of more of that. But the container is very transformative and it just takes you into the next level. So that's pretty much what I have for you girls. If you're interested in that masterclass, then just give me like a thumbs up or something. Well, either way, you know what? Don't worry. Yes. Okay, cool. Yay, cool. Thumbs up everywhere. Awesome. Perfect. So I'll send you guys the invite and all the good stuff. And there will probably be a couple like prizes and stuff like that. We'll see. I'm still, like I said, it's all percolating, but in which case there will be like incentives for you guys to invite people because we want more people in the group. Yay. Whoever needs this medicine can receive it. So
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know that a lot of this is for everybody, but is this like a sister tribe, or could I invite a male friend that like is very curious about the Reiki energy?
No, absolutely. Yeah, please feel free. Like, I mean, I guess marketing wise, like I talk to, women, but it doesn't matter. These principles apply to everybody. And I've actually had some of the most like insane transformations with men. So I'm more than happy to, have men come into the container because it's, I don't know, something about like our energies, it's kind of polarizing in a way. And yeah, men need this a lot. I don't know enough like men leaders that talk about these more spiritual principles. So yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions for tonight, I will bid you adieu. I love you all. Have a beautiful night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you're
you,
welcome.
Sandra.
I'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.